Torture motivation. What motivates the use of torture? Torture is the deliberate act of inflicting pain or suffering onto another. There are multiple sources of torture that have a number of motives. Here are a few examples of torture methods. Through the punishment component of torture, users can utilize the extreme act to deter behavior. The concept of deterrence assumes individuals make their own choices freely. Therefore, crimes out of irrationality and impulsivity are resistant to deterrence compared to those that are premeditated and planned. Protection motivation theory consists of threat and coping appraisal. These factors outline how an individual appraises an event and considers severity, vulnerability, and ability to respond and cope. Military personnel and FBI police interrogators may use torture to extract information or a confession. Specifically after the 9/11 attacks, where President Bush authorized the use of torture under the euphemism enhanced interrogation techniques. Although first-hand accounts by both torturers and survivors express ineffectiveness of the interrogation tactic. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, particularly physiological needs such as food, water, and sleep, can be deprived of to increase motivation to cooperate. Sexual sadistic killers who derive sexual pleasure from inflicting pain onto others often have sexual urges and fantasies that need to be satisfied. Sadomasochism is the opposite of sadism. It involves the same acts of pain and humiliation, but instead is consensual and considered an act of intimacy. Psychoanalytic theory proposed by Freud attempts to explain sexual deviance as a biological drive to satisfy sexual needs and to overcome the resistance posed by a sexual object. Psychopaths are notorious for possessing traits of manipulation, narcissism, and power and control. For example, CEOs have been found to use psychological tools of torture such as bullying, harassment, and blackmailing to maintain their power. In contrast to internal motivation, Zimbardo outlines the power of the situation as an external motivation for individuals to inflict pain. McClelland's need for power theory describes this motive as a being attributed to personality. Ultimately, torture has been found to be ineffective, specifically as an interrogation technique. Besides its obvious physical consequences, torture has also psychological implications. O'Mara outlines a detainee's impaired memory when exposed to torture methods and points toward alternative methods such as creating rapport and trust between facilitator and detainee. Overall, the available research suggests torture cannot be justified and instead an alternative approach is needed, one that aligns with morality and ethics.